Hello friends. After so many time I have come here to share my words with you on Ukraine and Russia conflict. See, many people are creating so many theories, but as I believe it is not just geopolitical issue, but it is a problem of security issue of one country. So many people describe this issue as international politics, and some people describe here as conspiracy theory and the religious competition based theory of Russian church, Russian Orthodox Church, and Ukraine Church. Russian Orthodox Church and Ukraine Church. So some people says that it is a matter of only some parties' personal conflict. But as I have believed that this is a matter of absolutely security threat issue of Russia. And on other side, this is second part of post Cold War condition of world after 1990 or 1991. Means this is a second part of conflict between Russia and America. And in this situation, Ukraine is becoming a part of the game between Russia and America. Here we see that since so many days, the news channels are describing poor condition of the Ukrainian people. See, nobody deny it. I again repeat my word. Nobody deny this poor condition. But the big question comes that who is responsible for it? So I put some name of the people as a case study of the international politics. You understand this. The one is Russia, second is Ukraine, and third is American and other countries who were part of the NATO. So present moment it is seen to be a problem of Russia and Ukraine conflict. But behind the game, the actual person is seen is America, the backstage player. He is not in front of the war, but they are in back of the Ukraine. Actually, since 2014, this conflict had started to take very serious situation. In this matter, when Russia had captured Crimea, nobody had stopped Russia. Actually, Ukraine had Crimea was a part of their land as per the international sovereignty, and Russia had captured that part. What the world had done in those days, this is the first scene. Second, in 1993-94, in Budapest conference, most of the country, including Russia and America, had supported Ukraine and promised them to keep their sovereignty. The word sovereignty is very much important in the international level for identifying the country. For our country, India, we use the word we are sovereign nation. The sovereignty means complete absolute freedom. In those days, if we think Ukraine had nuclear weapons with them, but in those days, most of the powers had told Ukraine and promised for protection and security of their sovereignty. And on those words, Ukraine had handed over most of the weapons. Thereafter, as the time started to pass, step by step, NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which had established since Second World War. After the completion of the Second World War, I could say, means during the phase of the Cold War period, NATO, the military bloc, was established by America, and Georgia and other divided parts of earlier Soviet Union had started to join 2007-2008. As the time passed, many of these parts of the earlier Soviet Union had joined NATO. In those days, it was duty of America to stop the NATO up to some level, but they not stopped. In 2008-9, Soviet Union was not there. Russia was in place of Soviet Union. Today also we know that in Security Council Russia has veto power. Actually, after dissolution of the Soviet Union, Russia is in place of Soviet Union. So, to keep their importance as like a Soviet Union was necessary to be respected by NATO countries. But no one had done this. And due to that, the situation became more fierceful. In Ukraine, as the time started to pass, after the incident of the Crimea, the anti-Russian sentiment started to emerge. Step by step, in Donbass region, Donetsk region, Luhansk region, the separatist groups supported by Russia started to come out, and they started to fight against Ukrainian government. Here, I want to put stress on activity of the NATO, what they had done. Actually, they had to take Russia in confidence before expanding towards Russia. And on other side, the NATO countries had worry about if Ukraine will be captured by Russia, then in future Russia will come to border of the European Union. So it means Ukraine is the buffer zone between European Union, other NATO countries and Russia. So it was necessary to keep the honesty in step from both the side to do. Here it was not done, and due to that, in last incident of 24th of February, we have seen that step by step Donetsk and Luhansk was declared as separate countries. So it is a unilateral decision of Russia only, which was not backed by world society. So nobody was going to support them. But on other side, most of the countries had promised Ukraine to support, but nobody had come out to support them. Here Zelensky had also compulsion to be remain against Russia, because in last election nearby 2019-2020, Zelensky came to power after defeating his opponent on the sentiment of anti-Russian feelings of the people, and by that way he conquered the election. He won the election. Now the question comes, he cannot leave the side. He cannot leave the side of Ukrainian people's sentiment. Most of the people are anti-Russian sentiments having people. So in that situation, up to the region where Russia entered inside, and Luhansk and Donetsk was separated, it was only a matter of these two areas. But when Putin started to send his military forces to enter the other regions of the Ukraine, it became a matter of the worry for Zelensky. So here now Zelensky is remain alone. The world powers had promised him, but nobody had supported him with military, because Article 4 of the NATO says that if any other power out of the NATO attack over any NATO nation, then all NATO countries will start to respond to him. But see, actually Ukraine's application to join NATO since 2008 with the NATO. But the question is, what the other countries of the NATO and the administration of the NATO or the authority of the NATO had done to join Ukraine in the NATO? Means here the intention of the NATO power was not clear, and they were planning to use only for some reasons to keep Russia in control and to play with Russia by own conditions. And here Russia had responded very firmly in different way. Some proofs have come out about the support of the America or the US to Ukraine for making bioweapon. So in that way, America is available in Ukraine in backstage without come out on front of. So in that way, this is a clear situation of clash between only America and Russia. Russia wants to reach towards the doors of European Union and NATO countries, and America and other NATO countries wants to reach on the door of Russia. So this is a simple international political game to capture the maximum land for developing own control over the world. So this is a simple game of two power blocks, nothing more than that. This is my own analysis. Thank you, my friend. Please understand this, make it clarify in your mind from these points, and if you like, share to others for understanding the situation in a very short manner. Also subscribe my channel. Thank you very much, friend.